Hi everyone, welcome to our I Am Climate Change Google Hangout. We're really excited to have everyone here, so I'm going to just first turn it over to Reagan. Reagan's going to go ahead and welcome everyone and offer us a brief opening prayer to get things started. Reagan, you're muted actually. Sorry. Thanks.
Okay, how about now? Hey, can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, all right. My name is Reagan Lee, and I just graduated from the University of Notre Dame, and I'm an intern with CRS this year, working with college students. So before we, like Danielle said, before we proceed with the main agenda today, I want to begin with a prayer. This prayer is actually from the last section of Laudato Si, Pope Francis' encyclical Care for a Common Home. And it's actually on the Climate Change website, so you can use it afterwards. So let's start with a reminder that we're in the loving presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. All-powerful God, you're present in the whole universe, and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love, that we may protect life and beauty. Fill us with peace, that we may live as brothers and sisters, harming no one. O God of the poor, help us to rescue the abandoned and forgotten of this earth, so precious in your eyes. Bring healing to our lives, that we may protect the world and not prey on it. That we may sow beauty, not pollution and destruction. Touch the hearts of those who look only for gain at the expense of the poor and the earth. Teach us to discover the worth of each thing, to be filled with awe and contemplation, to recognize that we are profoundly united with every creature as we journey towards your infinite light. We thank you for being with us each day. Encourage us, we pray, in our struggle for justice, love, and peace. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thanks, Reagan.
Hello, gang. I am Chris Denny. I am the creative director at Catholic Relief Services, and I just want to talk to you for a minute and remind everybody what we're here for. We are here for a cause that I believe we all believe deeply in and have shared values around. As creative director, I've been lucky enough to work with the marketing folks here and our colleagues in the University and Advocacy Department to bring this campaign to you. And I want to also say that personally it's been very fulfilling. I've been in the business now for almost 20 years. I come from the agency world. I've been at CRS for only about 8 months now. And I've worked on a lot of campaigns for different clients in different industries. I also came from New York, and I worked for Time Warner and Rodale there. But I am not kidding when I say that this is probably the most fulfilling campaign I've been part of. When you have something that you can do to market and get a message out that is about something you care deeply about, and on top of it, have it be shared with a community like you folks, and again, that shared passion is really fulfilling. And I want to let you know that everybody here at CRS is standing right next to you in that passion and getting this word out. We feel like the campaign is off to a great success. It's basically in its first quarter, and the momentum is really moving forward. I am the cause. I am the solution. I am climate change is one of empowerment, but it's also one of accountability. And I know that when we said it here, we all felt like we can no longer just say we're doing something. We can no longer just talk about what we're doing. We have to do something because we've now put it right on our shoulders and said that we're accountable. In terms of the momentum, I would like to give you a couple of numbers on how the campaign is doing right now. First of all, 1,000 letters have been written to Congress for the Green Climate Fund. That's a pretty amazing number when you consider how soon the campaign it is, and that it's the lead up to the Paris Treaty in end of November or beginning of December. The next phase is what Tina will be talking about in the letters that we need to write, but that thousand number is a very important milestone. Also, we have over 1,000 Twitter followers, as well as almost 500 Facebook likes. And with that stat, I'd like to remind everyone to please get involved and be involved. If you are already, great. If you're not, please like our Facebook page. While the number is good, we definitely want to ramp it up. And those channels are our main avenue for getting the message out and for us to spread the word. So please get in there, and especially like the Facebook page. Last, we have 66 schools enrolled in the campaign. Now, while some of those are ones that have been joining us and standing us with us shoulder to shoulder in other campaigns, there's a lot of new blood and a lot of new energy around it, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting just to see everybody getting involved. Again, we're still pretty new in the campaign, and we're really looking forward to getting those numbers even higher. So momentum's rolling. We really feel like we're doing what we need to do. I don't know if it's up yet or not, but we are going to ask all of you to share some of your success stories as this webinar continues, and they will be shared as we go through. But are we good? It's not up yet, but it should be at the bottom of your screen soon. But we'd love to hear from you. If not from here, in other avenues, again, share it on Facebook and share it on Twitter. What your success stories are. I want to leave with one last thought, and again, I want to talk a little bit about this shared passion. Again, people here are very passionate about this. I would say that the whole agency here is very much behind this cause and getting our elected officials to act and to get this taken care of, and for us to start to move towards real solutions. But in the vein of what this webinar is about, and the vein of this campaign is really, again, standing side by side with you. So it is I am the cause, I am the solution, I am climate change. But the thought I'd like to leave you with is, it really is, we are the cause, we are the solution, we are climate change. So thank you, and keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing more of it. And I'm going to hand it over now to Danielle for the rest of the webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for sharing and joining us in this campaign, and for sharing with everyone who's online right now. So as Chris was mentioning, there is an option to comment and to ask questions. It's a little bit hidden, so or it might pop up easily for everyone. If not, if you are watching the webinar and you look at the top, there should be a little icon with 9 tiles in it, 9 little boxes. If you click on that, it'll drop down 2 options, Q&A and Showcase. So if you're on the Showcase one, you'll see some links. If you're on the Q&A section, that'll give you the opportunity to ask questions and make comments. And so we would love questions throughout, but we'd also love for anyone who's on here watching to just type in that box what school you're representing. So you don't have to say who you are unless you want to, but it'd be great to know what different schools we have here. So if you could share that in the Q&A box, that would be wonderful. For those of you who are on the presenter list, you'll probably see that by kind of scrolling a little bit over to the left side and clicking the Q&A button. So so go ahead and share those throughout. But we're going to get started hearing from some of our wonderful universities who have been participating and doing this really great work on campus so far this year. So first we're going to hear from Sienna Heights University. So we have a good group of folks from Sienna Heights who are here with us. So I think they are going to go ahead and introduce themselves first, and then spend a few minutes sharing with you their success story, what they've been doing that's worked so well for them.
First of all, Chris and Danielle and all staff for giving us this opportunity to share our faith as well as the bigger picture, which always what matters. From Sienna Heights University, it's in Adrian, Michigan. We met at the Donaldson Conference. I'm a junior. I'm a junior. And I'm also. So we're sharing how we successfully create a campaign behind climate change. So the first part of the process was finding a campus where we could meet and greet a lot of people.
So we did this by selecting our universities that our cafeteria. So when we walk in front of doors and stand in line to get into the cafeteria, we had our tables up with 3 computers and our table.
Hey guys. Your connection I don't think is super clear. It's a little tricky to hear you. So sometimes it just comes and goes in and out a little bit, and maybe just since there's so many of us and video and audio takes up a lot. So let's maybe, if you don't mind, we're going to try to shift and have Xavier go first, and then maybe jump back to you guys, and maybe the problem will be resolved. And if there's anything you can do to plug into like a landline internet or something in the meantime, go ahead and try that. But let's try and see if Xavier from Louisiana could actually share first. Sorry, guys. We just couldn't hear you, and we definitely want to hear everything you're saying. So go ahead and mute and see, and we'll try to come back to you. But we'll turn it over then to Xavier, Xavier of Louisiana. We have a good group of students there. If you want to go ahead and, as I was saying earlier, just introduce yourselves and share how you've had so much success with the campaign already on campus.
Yeah, I hit it already.
Okay. Hi, my name is Essay from Xavier University, and I was in charge of the letters, getting them signed. Before I started, I had no idea what to expect, but it was a really good experience. The students on campus, they really were involved more than I expected, and they were happy to be part of the solutions. Everybody was involved on campus, and it was just such a good experience to know that Xavier as a whole cared about this change.
Oh, well, I'm Jasmine. I wanted to talk to y'all about the immigration simulation that we did. We got the idea from Cabrini College, and we decided to bring it back on, or to bring it onto our campus. And it was a really fun experience. A lot of people really got into it because, like, throughout the process, people were like, why do I have to go here? But I thought I already went here. And then a lot of people were just getting really frustrated, and were like, this is what happens for people when they try to immigrate to the United States. It is really unorganized. A lot of the reasons why some people get a visa and some people don't get a visa really doesn't make any sense. So, and then a lot of people, at the end of it, they were more sympathetic towards people coming into the United States. And then our faculty advisor, Father Tito, spoke about his experience with immigration this summer. So a lot of people, so that hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah, we had another event too, and we had a professor from African American Diaspora Studies come and speak about initiatives happening in Ghana and the way CRS is involved. Dr. Vander spoke on initiatives there and how people in Ghana like sustain themselves both economically and emotionally. Like they have like sewing circles. Women get together and they sew for the neighborhood. They sell products, and that was one way she explained how they sustain themselves, you know, make money. But emotionally, things like dance and music and song were really big for people in Ghana, and it was really good personally, and I think for everyone else who was in attendance to learn about things happening on the other side of the world. She also shared how CRS is empowering them through like certain initiatives. They created a mechanism to allow people in the community to just wash their hands. And it was a really simple mechanism, involved a couple of cups and just a water jug. But small things like that really allow you know, people there to experience a more humane like lifestyle, which is, you know, people found really interesting. Recently we had a candlelight service for Syrian refugees, and the focus was just on prayer for the refugees there and to just allow ourselves to be in solidarity with them. We engaged the campus in some specific reflection, and the prayers were provided by CRS, and the theme of it was just to learn to cry, and I think a lot of people really felt the impact of that, and they also got a different look, especially since a large body of people here at Xavier aren't Catholic. They got a different look on what like prayer and reflection and adoration actually was, and I would recommend, I think we as a chapter would recommend that Tears of Solidarity prayer is an excellent way to close the candlelight.
And then definitely wanted to,
Can I just jump in for a quick second and see if you could maybe share? I know that you had done a few things around the I Am Climate Change campaign in terms of getting some letters signed. So I just wanted to see if you might be able to just close out your few minutes here by sharing a little bit about how that specific I Am Climate Change stuff worked for us.
Oh, well, CRS gave you the general template for the letter, and then it's super easy. And then, as SA was saying, they went around campus saying, hey, we're signing letters to give to our representatives and senators about climate change. And then she was also telling us, like, I was in class when this was going on, but a lot of people were genuinely interested in what was going on. And I feel like people underestimate how interested people on your campus are about these issues, because a lot of people don't necessarily take the time or pay attention until you're like, hey, this is what's happening. And people are like, oh yeah, that's important. And then Xavier being science-oriented and university, a lot of people are definitely interested in the science behind it. And then public health is also a big thing on campus. So seeing how climate change also ties into public health, and we've been doing other things on campus kind of related to that too.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to say something, because I was with them when they were getting out the letters signing. Most of the students that signed the letters were signing it because it was a good cause to do, and also they were signing it in support of Barack Obama, right? They said, oh, Barack, you mentioned that this is a green fund, Barack Obama, and they said, oh, anything for Barack we will sign. So we get a lot of people sign the letters just because it was Barack Obama, and also too because of the impact of climate change in Louisiana. So a lot of people kind of relate with that, so that they were really enthusiastic signing the letters, and we got a lot of letters for the two senators in Louisiana, which was really fun.
Thanks. Great. Thanks, Xavier of Louisiana, for sharing. We're going to go ahead and turn it over to Gabby and some other folks that might be with her at this point from Boston College.
So, hi everyone. My name is Gabby. I'm a senior at Boston College. This is CRS's second year here on campus, so we're starting to get things flowing. And my name is Ashlyn, and I'm a graduate student, and I have the opportunity to work with and advise the CRS student ambassadors here at BC. Yeah, so in regards to what we've done for I Am Climate Change, we were lucky enough. Oh. We were lucky enough to have BC already hosting a whole week called Our Common Home that had a bunch of speakers speak about climate change, economists, biologists, theologians, people like that. So at the end of the week there was a huge fair, and we were able to have our own table at the fair of just CRS students. And at our table, we just basically had a bunch of CRS resources. We had a poster that kind of talked about the work that CRS does with personal stories that they included, like the Nicaraguan coffee farmers. And then also had a poster dedicated completely to the Green Climate Fund with an explanation of what it is for students to pass by and learn about it. So we borrowed iPads from our library so students can go right on and read the letter that CRS provided and then send that. But we also had a way of swiping, so students could swipe their ID and we get their information. And once we have their information, we send out the petition with a full explanation of what the Green Climate Fund was, so that's how we got a lot of letters signed. In addition, we also had a social media piece, so what I did is I made a giant frame, kind of like one of those Instagram ones, except it was made completely out of recyclable material, so cans, cardboard boxes, water bottles, and got a lot of students to take pictures with it with their friends. We posted on social media, tagged those people. It got around like everyone who had a Facebook, basically. And then lastly, we had a poster with the St. Francis Pledge on it, which is just, I pray to act, learn, and advocate. Students could sign it. And then we gave them a sticker that CRS provided that said, I am climate change. And it basically got a lot of students involved in what exactly CRS stands in helping alleviate those who are suffering from climate injustice. But what was also great is that we were able to learn a lot ourselves as a group about what's going on. And this weekend we're going with the Ignatian Solidarity Network to Washington, D.C. to advocate on Capitol Hill to our congressmen and congresswomen and senators. So yeah.
Thanks, Gabby, for sharing. Those are really great ideas, I think, that students can use on their campus as well. Ashlyn or Gabby, is there anything else you wanted to add?
If you want to speak. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
So we're gonna try and continue. So I didn't realize it was still on. We're gonna try and continue with this topic and not just leave it as like a 1 week thing. So we were just actually planning in our meeting for some future legislative visits where we will continue to talk about the Green Climate Fund and actually have an opportunity to meet with senator and representative to present to them our concerns, and so that way we have some continuity throughout this semester on this issue. So we'll be taking part in that as well towards the end of this semester and possibly beginning of next semester. So we're still finalizing those, but we wanted to make sure that we're continually advocating for the Green Climate Fund.
Thanks. I think that's important. Sometimes, you know, it's exciting to move from different topics and do all kinds of different events on campus. But what we're hoping with this campaign is to really unite our voices around one major issue and really keep the focus on that and kind of sustained momentum and see how impactful that really is over the long term. So thanks for sharing that. So thank you again to both of our schools so far who have shared. Hopefully you're getting some good ideas for campus. I know that we are going to hopefully try to come back now to Sienna Heights and see if maybe we can hear them a little bit better this time. So let's go for that and see if it works out.
Hello? Is it okay, so sorry for that technical difficulty, guys. We don't know where you left off, but we'd like to first thank CRS for the opportunity they gave us to connect our local mission along with the universal mission. So I'm Evan, I'm a junior.
I'm Miguel, I'm a freshman.
My name is Nate, I'm a junior.
And I'm Nevin, and I'm a freshman.
So we're from Sienna Heights University, university in southern Michigan, and we'd like to just tell you guys how we really successfully and creatively did this I Am Climate Change campaign.
So the first part of the climate change procedure here on campus was finding a high traffic area. So the area that we was best for this was our university center. This is the cafeteria, so everyone walks through this area every day. We were right inside the front door, so they would walk past us. We had 3 tables up, and then we all were sitting right there. So this was just a really good area to be set because of all the people who walk right through.
One of the things we really wanted to create was a great atmosphere for all the students. We wanted them to come and feel welcome as soon as they saw our tables. So I went out and I talked to some friends of mine who were musicians. They started singing on the side, and they really attracted the crowd. And the people that started coming up seeing what was going on, we all come up to them and we'll tell them, hey, this is going on climate change. It literally takes a second, and that came in petitions in under a minute. And it was really incredible to see the outcome and how many people were really supportive of all of it.
Social media, that was especially fun for us. We like use Snapchat and love our stories and our fans on our story. We also use Twitter with the hashtag I Am Climate Change. Post videos on Instagram also. Really just interacting with other students, you know, seeing students' reactions when they felt empowered, actually sending letters to people. It was really great.
And so what Advocacy into this?
Hey guys, we are getting a little bit of bits and pieces. I heard you mention social media and a few other things, but it still isn't working super well. So I hate to interrupt because I'm sure there were great ideas, and I know you can check our social media channels for some more of what Sienna Heights did. They did like a little video that they put together showing kind of their display that they were talking about in the cafeteria, where they were inviting people to sign up and write letters as they walked by. So they did post that on social media, and we kind of reshared that out. So you can check that for the images of it to learn more, but I think we're gonna have to move on, just since it's been really hard to understand what you guys are saying. But thank you for joining us and sharing. You can maybe make a sign that says what you were trying to say and hold it up, and we can read it or something in the background. But thank you again, Sienna Heights, for jumping on today and for all the work that you've done on campus. So so with some of these examples and ideas, we're gonna turn it over to Tina, who is another staff person here at Catholic Relief Services, and she's going to share with us. She works on our advocacy team, so I'll let her introduce herself and then share a little bit about what's next and what kind of advocacy asks are important and why sustained momentum on this campaign and on this topic are really important for us to take action on. So I'll turn it over to Tina.
Thanks, Danielle, and thank you all so much for sharing what you're doing in support of the I Am Climate Change campaign. It's so energizing and exciting to see all the great work that you're doing, and especially how you're supporting our advocacy efforts. I can't tell you enough how important it is for members of Congress, for the administration to hear that people in this country care about this topic. They care about what is happening to our brothers and sisters overseas who are already experiencing the effects of climate change, and that they really need to do something about this now. And so I can't express to you enough how important it is, and I applaud you for all your efforts. So what's coming up? We know that many of your campuses are engaging in hunger and homelessness awareness weeks during the month of November. And so we picked kind of like the middle of the month, November 18th, for our big rally day, where we're hoping that campuses around the country will come together and rally in support of global action on climate change. This, of course, comes at a time that is critically important to the climate change debate, given that the big United Nations meeting in Paris is going to happen just a few weeks later, starting on November 30th. And so it's just like a rallying cry to our leaders, our elected officials, to let them know that we know this is happening, we know this is going on, we know that the U.S. Is playing a major role in what will happen in Paris, and we want them to pay attention. So Lou will be showing you some resources that we've put together for and around November 18th that you could integrate with your hunger and homelessness awareness weeks. We hope that you can easily make the connections between climate change and hunger and homelessness. Of course, with increasing droughts, as we're seeing in Ethiopia and South Sudan, people are going to experience more hunger because small-scale farmers won't, because of droughts, won't be able to feed their families. Increased storms are going to cause more homelessness because shelters will be washed away, etc. The reason it is really, really critical for the U.S. Elected officials to hear our voice, and particularly Congress, because as some of you have already pointed out, President Obama has been playing a fairly leading role on addressing climate change, and we do applaud his efforts and support his efforts. But Congress is really, at the end of the day, going to be key here. And so for Boston College, continuing your advocacy efforts with visits to your elected officials, I mean, that is exactly what we're looking for going forward. What are we going to be doing during COP21, during the Paris meetings that are happening over the course of 2 weeks? We're really going to be ramping up our social media engagement, looking for folks to engage in some way via social media every other day. And the purpose here is really to let the U.S. delegation at Paris and Congress know that, we're watching, we're here, we know this huge, global meeting is happening, and we want the U.S. to take on a leadership role. We want the U.S. to play a positive role to change the trajectory of our planet and climate change. And so So look out for more information on that. But if you're, we know that this is like finals week and you're thinking about how you're going to get home for Christmas and all of those other things, but this is really going to be like the pivotal moment of the campaign as you guys head towards winter break. And then finally, looking towards the spring, and some of you have already talked about like what's going to happen next year during the spring semester. We have, that's kind of when the really hard work begins. We don't know what's going to happen in Paris. We don't know what the U.S. is going to come back with in terms of an agreement or not. But implementation of the agreement is going to be key, and that's when our voices will be more crucial than ever before. And so, just sit tight and wait for some really cool activities and engagement plans that we have for you during the spring semester. But given that it's a presidential election year and all of the politics are going to go on, we will have plenty for you to do to influence the process. So again, thank you so much for everything you're doing. I want you to know that it is making a difference. We're already seeing members of Congress kind of stick out their necks, bucking their party line and coming out and saying that something needs to happen on climate change. And I am sure it is because of so many of you raising your voices, being heard, and making these elected officials start listening to us. So thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Tina, joining us from the Power Center in Washington, D.C. Thanks for all your guidance on this campaign. It's been great to be partnered with our advocacy team here at CRS and really working in partnership with them to make this the most effective campaign we've ever done. I have been working on CRS's university team for the past 6 years and have really strived to make our webcasts better, but we still have technology issues, unfortunately. So thanks for hanging on with us. I have 4 kids under the age of 5, so they gave me the show and tell section. I'm just going to take you right now live to our campaign digital live platform, iamclimatechange.org, and Danielle is going to share this for everyone. So we built this out to really house everything that you would need for the campaign, and it's really well designed. We keep it updated, but we just wanted to let you know that today we made 2 key updates that follow directly what Tina was just talking about. The first is that we have our new action alert, which is now live on the site. So if you click on the Act Now section, there are 2 asks. The Green Climate Fund, which falls under the funding gap, is still live because, as Tina shared, that still needs to be fully funded and Congress needs to appropriate money. But we do have 1,000 letters already on that. But as the world turns our attention to Paris in a couple of weeks, we've now posted CRS's position there, encouraging the administration to continue to lead, encouraging Congress to help give the administration the support they need to make our position one of leadership at this conference. Given the stature of the United States, given our role in the world, given how much we consume and our carbon output, we can have a dramatic effect on climate change. And so we're asking you all to write those letters, both online and in person, and make our voices collectively heard on that. So that has just gone up. The second, under the Get Organized section of our website, we have a brand new event guideline that's just come out and posted today. It's for your events timed to coincide with Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week on or around November 18th. It has a ton of resources, a great kind of design template that you can borrow, videos, prayers, our action alert, our letter, and follow-up activities on social media. So we spent a lot of time designing that and worked to get it together in support of your campus events. You can use that as a resource.
You can customize it as needed based on the work that you're already doing on campus. But it's really a great centerpiece for any efforts that you will be doing over the next few weeks as we build up to the Paris Treaty. So those are just two key things that we wanted to mention, share, make sure you knew where they were, that they're now live, and please share those with your peers on campus.
All right.
I think that's it. I get to speak again later.
So let's turn it over to Cabrini, and we'll hear from them a few ideas that they have that you might be able to implement on your campus next semester. So a simulation that they're working on that will be able to be promoted around the country. So go ahead, Cabrini.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
I'm Ryan. We're freshman communication majors.
And for our project, we named it Tame the Change, which is basically us emphasizing the I Am Climate Change tagline. And one of the purposes of our project is to spread awareness of how climate change affects the most vulnerable people on the planet, so the less fortunate, basically the poor. We want to also educate others on ways to make lifestyle choices to reduce our impact on the planet. And we want to provide people a time for reflection, to see the steps that they can take, and a portion for advocacy.
So basically, the way the simulation works is there's 4 scenarios. They're choices. What we wanted to do is kind of make simple everyday choices that people make. So the first station is a plastic water bottle or a reusable water bottle. And the second, you'll then move to cafeteria food waste. So that's basically like taking a large portion of food versus a small portion of food. You take a large portion and don't finish it all, and that food goes to waste. The third section is meat consumption, specifically focusing on beef and red meats. And the last section is wasted electrical use in dorms. And basically what each station will do is whoever's going through the simulation will get a choice. We'll make their choice, and then we will show them the effects that the choice that they made has on the climate, and then as they progress through the simulation, they'll get a report card, which is basically showing it's supposed to show their personal carbon footprint and how that affects the rest of the world, and hope to make an impact on people to make them think more about the simple choices that they make every day.
Yeah, and after they go through the scenarios, they'll enter the reflection section, in which we'll provide them with a reflection booklet based on Pope Francis's ideas on climate change. And then from there, they'll move on to advocacy. And we'll reiterate the support for the Green Climate Fund and U.S. leadership at the UN Climate Conference.
So that's our simulation.
Great, thanks, Cabrini. We really look forward to seeing that, and we'll be able to share that out around the country as well once you have that put together, so that more schools can take advantage of all of the really hard and thoughtful work that you're all doing at Cabrini College. So with that, I think we will turn it back over to Lou to offer us some kind of concluding and forward-moving words. And if any of you have any questions, please feel free to send them to me via email. My email address is danielle.roberts@crs.org. So we'd love to hear from you, questions or other feedback that you have on the campaign, what else you might need from us. Many of you see that some of our presenters are wearing climate change t-shirts and buttons, and we have stickers and posters as well. So please feel free to reach out to us if you need any additional materials for promotion on your campus. Again, you can find more info and examples by following us on social media and checking out the website. So thank you so much again for joining us, and I will turn it back over to Lou.
Thanks, Danielle. I'll add my gratitude as well to everyone that joined our webcast or will watch this later. And especially to the schools that contributed. and shared their work with us today. It's very inspiring. It's so amazing to see. We had many more examples that we could choose from to highlight, but it's just representative of incredible collective work that's going on across the country. So you guys are on it, and we just want to thank you for that and keep our momentum going. I think I just wanted to place some final words and hold our campaign in a certain context. So Oliver Sacks, you may have studied him. He is a renowned professor at New York University School of Medicine and author of many books. In February of 2015, he wrote an op-ed that was widely read. It was called My Own Life. And he had just found out at the age of 81 that he had terminal cancer. And so he reflected on his life and shared through his writing some of his thoughts. I just want to read a brief excerpt from that op-ed. I feel a sudden clear focus and perspective. There is no time for anything inessential. I must focus on myself, my work, and my friends. I shall no longer look at NewsHour every night. I shall no longer pay any attention to politics or arguments about global warming. This is not indifference, but detachment. I still care deeply about the Middle East, about global warming, about growing inequality. But these are no longer my business. They belong to the future. I rejoice when I meet gifted young people, and I can feel that the future is in good hands. A couple months ago, on August 30th, Oliver Sacks died as your semesters were getting underway and our campaign was launching. As I think of his words, I too feel that the future is in good hands. It's in your hands. And we've heard great examples today of students who are taking responsibility and committing themselves to this campaign, to their faith, to political action, to this cause, and to being part of the solution. Climate change is the issue that will define your generation, and you have the capacity to make monumental advances that we could not, that cherish our common home, that leave the world better for the future, and that saves the lives of many people, many vulnerable people living overseas where climate change is affecting them every single day. It is an honor to journey with you, and I just invite you all to keep the momentum going. We have an enormous global moment when the world's attention will be on this issue. And through CRS and this campaign, we are poised to show the world our voice and what we stand for. And as Tina mentioned, we're already having an effect in Congress and the administration. And we invite you to keep making your voice known. The world needs you. Go out and own it. Thank you so much. Follow us on social media. We've recorded this Google Hangout, and we pray and hope that the technical issues we faced will not be presented in that final viewing. So please, we'll send you the link, and please share it with those in your communities. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.